Hello, good afternoon, all. So, today, as I'm going to take a webinar on PYP student agency, how it will work, and how we can do student agency. So, first of all, welcome you all. I'll just share my screen to with you. Student agency, kind of how the student agency work and how it will. So I'll just share my screen. Okay. So let's start with hmm. Again, welcome you all. So we are going to see how the student agency will work today. As uh, as we know, what is agency means. As what is basically agency in enhanced PYP. So term student agency is the new buzzword regarding a learner in the PYP. It really isn't altogether new. It's important to keep in mind that it is not a brand new change, but a rather a shift towards a greater emphasis of providing more deliberate autonomy for our students. Thus, developing leadership, this form of leadership can be viewed as deliberate, independent decision making for one's own success or leading synergetically within a group. So agency is basically when a student have ownership of their own learning and action that comes from that learning. Our job is to facilitate opportunity with their learning that enable more active participation for the kids. Basically, student agency students are going to take the ownership of his or her own learning. So here in student agency, there are very three important things are there: is wise choice and ownership, which we are going to see right now, which we are going to check now. As I told you, just okay, agency is more important. Is three things are very important in this: wise choice and ownership. So agency is the power to take meaningful and intentional action that acknowledge the rights and responsibilities of the individual, supporting wise choice and ownership for everyone in the learning community. When a student is taking a responsibility of his and her own learning, that you can say a agency. So here you are giving the opportunity to student to become his own voice, or he is choosing his own concept or context by taking ownership of that particular thing. Now, what is student agency in PYP? So agency is basically when our students have ownership of their own learning and action that comes from that learning. Our job is to facilitate opportunities with the learning that enable more active participation for the kids. As I told you that the teacher job is only facilitate to them, and whole and soul role doing by the kids, the students who is taking the ownership of the particular concept. As agency is the power to take meaningful and intentional action and support wise choice and ownership for students, teacher, and the wider learning community. Student with agency have wise choice and ownership and prosperity to take action, means to take in that corner to the kids, to be your own learner. You can do your own things by taking ownership of the by taking the ownership of particular child, particular concept, sorry. Now, I'll just share with you one continuum of voice. Sorry. So here, if you see continuum of voice, if you see here, by this is by Barbara Bray, is according to Barbara Bay and Kathleen McCluskey. They made this picture, and according to their understanding, what the student agency is, what they think about it. So first of all, expression, consultation, participation, partnership, activism, and leadership. Now here I'll tell you what exactly how it is happening. Like for example, in my class, I'm giving you my example where how I am doing the agency kind of a thing. So in my class, I have teaching them noun, and my next concept is a pronoun. So in my that particular noun, when I'm taking my nouns, that in that class only, I ask them, I given them, okay, I show them two paragraphs where because my concept is pronoun, that I know my concept is pronoun, but student doesn't know what the concept after that we are learning. So what I did, I put two paragraphs on display, and in that two paragraph, I have one paragraph is with the use of names, means Rama khana khati hai, Rama bahar jati hai, Rama chai piti hai. Again and again, I am using a particular name, and the next paragraph I have mentioned Rama ek ladki hai, Rama वह खाना खाती है, वह बाजार जाती है. So in second paragraph, I have mentioned some pronouns. So now few kids and I asked them what difference you found in this paragraph. So few students identify that, sir, this is a pronoun. Then I provoke them. Okay, yes, it is correct answer, and I tell me about more about pronoun. Now they start sharing with me what is pronoun and all. So I provoke them. Okay, how, okay, you have very good understanding of this concept, so can you be wise for this? Can you take this concept as your ownership? Can you take ownership by choosing this particular concept? And with his will, he is taking initiative. Now after taking initiative, is so this is the first expression, this is our first thing, this first expression of the kids. Now what kids will do here, first expression, he choose the topic. Now he is going to research for the concept. Now he is going to have survey, consultation, whatever he can get information from that particular concept, he will get. After that, participation is also there, means if more than one child are interested to take ownership of particular concept, so they can do. And after that, they become a partner, and teacher also there, but teacher's work is only facilitate them by giving them just by giving them a right track. Are they going on the correct way or not, that they have to see. After that, participation is done. Now they are going to teach in the classroom, they are going to teach in the classroom with their own strategies, with their own learning engagements. And teacher's role is only see how they are doing, and if required anything, any help, so we can do, the teacher will do that. And finally they will become a leader of leadership, as we can see here, leadership. So finally they become the leader of that particular concept or particular context. Here one more main point we can see here, the teacher centered learning, learner centered and learner driven. So basically teacher centered means, as I given you just now, the first our job is to provoke them, to give them and to insist them to take ownership of particular concept which you are going to teach. Then it is learner centered means, as we have seen, these all the section as expression, consultation, participation, partnership, activism, These all are come under this learner center. When a learner is taking initiative and he is taking the ownership of the particular concept by driven the all the research and all the work kind of thing, and all the risk which he is taking. We'll go ahead now. What is its purpose and how does it work? What is its purpose and how does it work? So within a learner center, as I just told you, that learner center environment, there is a lot more student participation with reflection and responsibility than in a teacher center environment. So the children identify and set their own goal, help to choose their own differentiated activities, and reflect upon how well they have made their goals. This is teachers' responsibility, that how what kind of goal they are choosing and what is different activities they are choosing. So here teachers' roles come and he will suggest them how they can do. It becomes more of a partnership with the teacher when the students are helping to design the projects and activities along the lines of inquiry, which is driven by their curiosity and interest. With a learner centered classroom, the teacher becomes the facilitator of the learner and assessment monitoring the action, the progress and checking in with the kids. As I told you, okay, here we have to, this is very important circle where student understand and teacher also understand how we are going to uh, give the instruction to the kids, and how they are taking initiatives to be a owner or a vice, or to be a vice of that particular concept. So the student action look like. Now the very major point and important thing, we have to see that the particular child who is taking a ownership of a particular concept, so that particular child or a group, they should complete this all points. We have to see that they are covering these all, means they should become independent thinker, they have to make their own decision, and they are taking a risk by being owner of particular concept. Yeah, obviously they're making a mistakes, that is why the teacher's role come. If they are making any mistakes, so a bit knowledge we can give, and we can get them on the right track. Then making mistakes, after giving suggestion, they can solve their problems and fix the mistakes with the help of research. Then they have to cooperate with their group children which to whom they are working for student agency, or individually if they are working, so it is okay. Then communication skill, how they are communicating with in classroom with the kids. Then we have to take a reflection from kids also, and give the reflection from the kids also. And finally, uh, responsibility, they student should do their work as a responsible person, as he is taking a ownership, so he should responsible for that. So he is taking a responsibility of that particular concept or content. And then now finally commitment, so they have to commit, and they have to reach the particular goal which they made for their content or concept. So these all actions should be inculcated, we have to inculcate with a kid to reach our goal. Now transferring decision making into the hands of the student. Now there are two types of learning we can see here. One is passive learning and the another is active learning. So passive learning is I came to school, I read the text, I did as I was told, I wrote some notes, I reviewed my notes. So here passive learning is I came to school, I read the text, I did as I was told, I wrote some notes, I reviewed my notes. So this is a passive learning. And now another is active learning. Now what is active learning is? I came to school, I analyzed the text, I made decisions by myself, I wrote notes and answered problem. I compared, contrasted and found connections. I reflected on what I would learn. So I hope you also look for active learner, not a passive learner. Okay, who is just coming, doing the task which we have assigned, completing the task, revive the notes, and that's it. Finish. I don't think you need a passive learner. You must be need an active learner who came to school, who analyzed the text, who made decision by self, who wrote notes and answered the problem, and compared, contrasted, and found connection, and reflect on what he would learn. Giving the kids a voice. So there are many ways that we can start to bring more responsibility into the hands of our pupil as we begin to plan for this. However, we have to really get to know our learner as well as bring heightened awareness to the children of their role as active learner rather than just kids passively showing up in class day after day. As I told you that we are looking for the active learner, not a passive learner. So teachers role should be to create a active learner, not a passive learner. I hope you understand. Now wise, probably the simplest sorry, probably the simplest way to get your kiddos thinking like active and important members of the classroom community is to involve them in making some of the decision for their classroom. This immediately gives them a voice. These things can be introduced as slowly or as quickly as you feel. Your group of learner can cope. It really all depends on your group of kids and how much autonomy they may have been exposed to prior. It is of course an ongoing process. Yeah, obviously it's an ongoing process. A learner is learning. So learning is an ongoing process always. That probably the simplest way to get your kiddos thinking like active and important member of the classroom community is to involve them in making some of the decision for their classroom, as we have to give them a voice. As I told you, okay, if a student want to do the pronoun, take ownership for pronoun, so they can take ownership as a pronoun. And as I told you, so student really like to be a teacher. If you giving them any work and ask them to be a teacher for the day or for the class, so they really like that. So it is our duty to give them a chance to be a voice of the that particular concept. This immediately gives them a voice. These things can be introduced as slowly or as quickly as you feel your group of learner can cope. So as we know, the by this, giving this kind of things, so as we know that some of the kids will cope very fastly, or some of the kids require more time to cope up the things. So it will happen as slowly as or as quickly as, it's depend upon the understanding of the kids, or what kind of content you are giving, or what kind of concept they are choosing. It really all depends on your group of kids and how much autonomy they may have been exposed to prior. It is of course an ongoing process as we see. Now choice board. Choice board is as they state, they give the kids the opportunity to independent student this decision making with choice boards. Means student have to choose their own things, what they want to do. For example, in one of in and as a Hindi drama, Hindi class, we are doing a drama. So one of the child and we make their groups, 4 5 groups. So one of the child want to be a part of a particular group. So we ask, what is the reason? So she told, okay, actually they are a very good, they have very good understanding. They have command in language. So I want to be there. So I also learn good because he is not that much good in the language, Hindi language. So she chosen that. So that can be, you can allow them to be choose that particular group, or they can choose their own thinking. So that can be come under student agency, it can be a part of it, by choosing. Then peer learning, the famous quote Benjamin Franklin sums up these aspects of student agency perfectly. What he said: tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. Means if you tell a people, they will forget second. Teach me and I remember, if we teach, they just remember. And involve me and I learn. And when we involve them, when they are taking the ownership, when we are giving them a choice, when we are giving them a voice, when we are giving them ownership, so they will never forget what they learn, because they are involving themselves to learning the particular thing. So, as involvement is a peer learning, and it is a finest with children working together to learn something, teaching each other a skill or a strategy. I have found that works best in one-to-one pairing. However, small group can collaborate to teach another small group a skill that we have been learning. It is also a brilliant homework task. Choose something that you have learned this month and prepared a lesson for the class. Kids love standing up and being the teacher. As the facilitator, it is easy to jump in and help as necessary. So as I told you that the student also love, and if you can give them, but you have to give them a chance to learn. That is very important point. So then a student also become a good learner, and by doing the student agency is a uh, uh, very good strategy is there to understand the concept and content of the child. Whatever strategy, because student also come up with their own strategy, their own teaching skill. They do so many research, do so much research to do the task. So it's very important. We'll go ahead now. Okay. So this is the thing, this is how it works. Student agency is how it work, like the power to act. Agency is what to power to act. It's increasing responsibility for learner. Means learner's responsibility is increase the responsibility of learner by, sorry, it is so engagement teachers practice well-being. So students can engage themselves and do their work with the voice and choice. Then content, timing, environment, people, they meet the environment people, they make the environment of according to their, because they are owner of the particular thing, so they make the environment atmosphere according to the concept. Then they strengthens learning gaps, own next steps, how to get there. They only take their own decision here, and feel the gaps of feel the learning gaps. Now after that, personalize, they become personalized, facilitate the teachers responsibility, personalize, or learner responsibilities being a personalized, facilitate, instruct, guide, coach, motivate, feedback, feed forward. they can use these strategies. Now, best example of student agency I want to give you. So, best example of agency is PYP exhibition, where students take responsibility of their own learning. So, basically, if we see the PYP exhibition, if you know about, so this is the best example of student agency, where student take the responsibility of his or her own learning, so they can take their own decision. And in student agency also we need that only, okay, in that particular thing like wise choice and ownership. Here also student only choose the content or concept which they want to work upon, then they do so much research on that particular thing, and they become the owner of that particular thing, and they are becoming the wise. So this is the best example, I would say, the PYP exhibition, where students take responsibility of their own learnings. So I hope you like this webinar, and I hope you will do the concept by do these activities which I just share, and becoming a learner centered teaching, and to give a student wise choice and ownership uh, with the help of this. I hope that, and thank you very much for listening, and we'll stop here. Thank you all. Have a good day. This is sorry, this is bibliography. Thank you. Bye. Bye all.